All right, happy Friday. So today we're just going to run through kind of like just set up some foundations on the site. So we're going to have to change the theme because it's on basically like looks like a free one. And we're going to move it over to Divi and start setting up some of those plugins and stuff like that to just get the basics set up so we've got something to work on properly. So this is the main dashboard for WordPress. Like I said, they also have WordPress.com. I've had a quick look through some of the features, and it's mostly essentially like a WordPress.org installation, with the exception of having these two up here, like the .com version has, and then you can access certain extra features like within that, which are different to WordPress.org, but I don't know, it's probably not too important. So okay, so the first thing we'll do is install some plugins so we can start making some backups. And I'll do that now. So currently, what might be good is just to look through what's currently on the site. So I got some plugins. It looks like some of these you can't actually delete because of the default WordPress.com, but otherwise I'd probably get rid of some of the stuff if it wasn't needed. Looks like they got Yoast, which is fine. If you go, I don't use Yoast. I don't personally like it, but if you are going to use it, don't bother with premium. There's pretty much no point with it. You can pretty much get by with the free one. So that's plugins, themes. Yeah, so they're running on Hammer. I don't know, I've not heard of it. It's probably a free one. And that's fine. It looks pretty much like what they've got for their layout. Posts, I don't think they've got any in here. Yeah, just the default stuff which can be deleted. And same goes for pages. Okay, so they got home, about, blog, contact, sweet. And we'll be adding to that as we go and changing up some of the names and stuff too. Cool. So I will install some plugins. I might just pause it because it takes a little bit longer to install them. I'll just pause this for a second, just see how long it's going to take. Okay, sweet. So I've tried pausing it, and yeah, it didn't take too long really. So I'll just go through the process of adding a plugin in case you don't know. So plugins are like basically extensions of WordPress. They allow you to add specific features that you may otherwise couldn't do unless you really know how to code something. So they just make it easier. So we're just going to add a backup plugin, which I've done, and we'll upload a few more. So we'll go add new. And then in here, WordPress has a database of plugins which you can search and find different things. So we're going to get all in one WP migration. It's just, you probably don't need to do this, but it's just a way for me to back up like what's existing on the site, just in case, like for whatever reason they decide they want to go back to it. So that's done. Then to upload a plugin that you've got, like a premium one or something like that, just hit this upload button and go choose file, find the one that you want, and we're going to put those two, WP Rocket, which is a speed plugin, and SEOPress Pro, because that's what I prefer instead of Yoast. And install. You can see it takes a little bit to load sometimes. And activate. Yay, it looks like an error. Okay. So I don't know what that is, but I'll check that out later. I might just disable this anyways, because we don't need the speed plugin on there just yet anyways, because yeah, because it will end up just caching files and stuff. If you don't know what that means, like it's probably just easier for me. It's, yeah, caching, like I'll try and think of a brief way to explain it. Stores some of the files so that it preloads some of the files pretty much. So if you have that on, then you go and view the page go to try and preview a page, sometimes you'll see the older version because that's the cache version, then you don't see the updated version instead. So then you have to clear the cache to kind of refresh it really. It's good for page loading and stuff. Right, so I've disabled that, and we'll just add SEOPress. And again, I'll probably just pause it because there's no point like repeating myself here. All right, sweet. So I have basically just got some plugins installed, activated SEOPress, and installed my license on it because it's a premium plugin, so they require you to verify that you actually own it. I've left WP Rocket disabled. We'll just do that for now. And Yoast SEO, we're going to disable that because we're going to be using SEOPress Pro. Now, one thing about these like SEO plugins, they don't do any of the work for you. Like, they're not going to do SEO for you or anything. They're just tools to help make some of the changes and implement some of the SEO work that is required, like such as editing titles and meta descriptions and basic stuff like that. Like it's not going to rank your site by having an SEO plugin on, just in case you weren't aware. And also don't follow the recommendations in these plugins. Like if you go to Yoast, like it's still active. So both of them will be displayed. I'll just show you this as a quick tangent and then we'll get back on track. Wait for this to load. Gosh, must be because I'm recording. All right, cool, it's loading up. Sweet, so this is like the Yoast settings. And it allows you to edit like your title and description and all that sort of thing. And that's the SEOPress one. Like I say, we got them both running at the same time, which you probably shouldn't do. As you go to readability, they have like a kind of like an SEO score, which is, yeah, it's crap. They pretty much just follow default untested and unproven generic guidelines for what they think would be good SEO content. And the problem with that is the markets vary. So everything varies per market. Same goes for the competition. And so not one keyword is going to have the same recommendations as another one. So these types of things are pretty much useless. They'll give you a rough idea around how to make some kind of okay content, but yeah, like I say, don't bother with them. Oops, how do I get out of here now? Okay, that's not where I want to be. All right, I'll just pause this for a sec because this is like some WordPress.com stuff here. All right. All right, sweet. So I was an idiot. You just pretty much had to go back to all pages. All right, now we'll go back to plugins and I'll show you the backup one that I have. So this is the all-in-one WP migration and the unlimited extension to get like more size and features and stuff. SEOPress Pro, we'll run through that. So the reason I use this again is just because I prefer it. It gives me more flexibility with more features that I can edit. And it also, the thing that I like about it is it allows me to disable things that I don't want to use as well. So that's why I prefer it. Not because it's like makes me do better SEO or anything. It just has better features and I don't know, I prefer it. It's cleaner and yeah. It's relatively cheap, like it's like 39 US for a year, I think, unlimited sites. So yeah, it's worth checking out. The free one is pretty good too. It's just not got as many features, and there is actually a somewhat bit more of a benefit to getting the premium one versus like Yoast free and Yoast premium. SEOPress free and premium, there is actually some kind of difference. So that's those two, and then the backup ones as well. You don't really necessarily need these, but yeah, I got to make a backup of the site. So we'll do that now. So we're going to go here and we go, I think, export from memory. Yeah, export to, and we'll just go file and download it. So it's going to basically scan the site and prepare the download file. So that's relatively small because it's a new site, and then it's just going to let me download it. Once I have that, I can store that safely, and then if they ever wanted to go back to its original state, I doubt they would, but the option is there. We can just basically install this, upload the download file, and then they're back to scratch, back to square one. All right, that's taken a little while to download. Sorry, there's going to be quite a few pauses. I'm trying to keep this brief so you're not sitting around waiting. So I'll pause this now. Sweet, so that's finished downloading. So I'll store that somewhere later. Then we can just close this. And we probably don't really need that plugin on anymore, but I'll just leave it there for now. Next step we're going to do, now that the site's, we've got it backed up, we're going to install Divi. So Divi is a page builder by Elegant Themes. Oops, let's just go back to their homepage. They have a few other themes, but it's mostly Divi that they're known for. I don't even know if they've still got them, the other ones that they had. They have a few like other plugins and things, which can be quite cool as well. I ended up just getting like the whole full suite of Elegant Themes stuff a while back, and it was like unlimited lifetime license, so that was cool. And it's pretty much like a page builder, like you would see for like Wix and all that sort of stuff. And they have some quite clean, like pre-made layouts and all that sort of thing. And yeah, you can basically just drag and drop. They have a load of different features. It can be a bit clunky at times, but it's, for the most part, it's pretty good. Like there's other ones like Elementor. And a few others, but they're more or less the same. Like there's Beaver Builder as well, similar, basically all the same concept. But for the case of this, we're going to use Divi. So we're going to go upload, choose file, and we got them here. So Divi, they have a builder, and then you can also have the option of creating a child theme, which I like to use. Benefit of doing that is if you make specific changes to the code, and it's like you end up customizing the code in the backend, which happens every now and then. When there's like a WordPress update or a theme update, those edits that you've made end up getting wiped and reset without a child theme. So the child theme actually allows you to apply those settings to the like essentially sub level of the theme. And when you do the main update, those changes don't get wiped. So that's why I just do that for standard practice. And you can't actually download a child theme, I don't think, but there's tutorials, Elegant Themes on their website. They show you how to make one and stuff as well. It's really easy. So we're going to open that one, install. And that's really weird. Oh, sorry. I've grabbed the wrong theme. I did the plugin, so I downloaded the plugin instead of the theme. 1 second. All right, cool. So what I did before was I downloaded the Divi Builder, which is a plugin. It's not a theme. And what that plugin does is it allows you to apply Divi over the top of an existing theme. So you can kind of get the Divi functionality without having to reset your site pretty much. But we're just going to use the full Divi. So that's why I'm using this. And because I tried to install a plugin as a theme, that's why I failed. And we're going to activate that and then go and put in the child theme. Upload. See, there's Divi, Divi Builder, Divi Child. That's all we want. There we go. We're going to activate that one. and then it says new version available because it's like been a while since I downloaded the new version. I've just got to install my license key, which what you do is you just go down to the side, Divi, theme options, and then updates. And that's where you put in your, that's my Gmail, don't worry, I'm not giving away any personal info. That's where the key and username go. So I'll once again just pause this for a second and grab those. Okay, so yeah, details are added. I've hit save, and now it's going to allow me to update. So just go across to updates, and we'll update Divi. Yeah, I'll download. So yeah, you can download the files from Divi from Elegant Themes when you sign in, and I've just had them stored somewhere, and then like it just allows you to update them whenever you put in your code and verify that you own it. Sweet. So that is done. Let's see if it's broken the site. Kept it. I thought it would break it, but okay, cool. So that's the main stuff kind of set up, like the plugins and the theme that we're going to be using. I may use actually, yeah, there are a few other plugins that I will recommend. These ones are free. This one here is, let's see, what's it called? Add code to head. Was that one? Usually it displays like pretty quickly. That'll do the same job. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I usually use. I'll just try to see if any others come up. Just want to show you a few variations. Yeah, so that's the one that I usually use. There's a few others as well. They all essentially do the same thing. Basically, yeah, that's one I used to use, but they haven't updated it in a while, like 2 years. So I like to use themes that are plugins that are relatively up to date. So we'll install this, and what it does is it allows you to put different codes into the header and the footer of your site. So I'll quickly run through what that is. So if you go to the home page of your website or any page, right click, view page source. It's in the HTML code. So at the top of a document, you'll have the standard HTML setup, and then this is the head tag. So it'll add some tracking. You can add code into that, which you otherwise would have to edit, like a theme or the back end of WordPress to insert it. So yeah, it just gives you that ease of use pretty much. And then once that's installed, did I activate it? Yeah, sweet. So it's there. It's usually just in tools there. And then we can put things like our Google Analytics code, Search Console, and all that sort of stuff, and any other stuff we need to add as well. And that's just nice and easy. And they also allow you to have it on specific posts and pages as well, which is quite cool. Sweet, so that is mostly done. Next step, I guess we'll just remove some of those default pages. And sorry, I'll deactivate Yoast because that's creating a mess. Having those two, SEOPress and Yoast. You can also, if you had Yoast previously and you want to move to SEOPress, SEOPress allows you to import all of the settings from Yoast that you had previously set up. May as well just delete it. And yeah, so you don't have to go through and like manually copy and paste all of your titles and stuff over to SEOPress if you decide to swap. Sweet. So then we were going to delete these posts because they are, oh yeah. If you see this, sometimes I think it must be WordPress.com that's causing that, but I think it's just too many items in here. So we're just going to hide that. You'll see screen options. You can just hide the score because I don't care about that. No index, no follow. And we're back to a cleaner layout. It's just because I had too many things in the menu and it was squashing them all together. Don't need to know comments, don't need to know likes and stats and stuff. Tags just in case. Yeah. Sweet. So that's pretty much how I would do it, just so that I can see like who's the author, if it's categorized, if there's a tag when it was published, what the title and description are. Sometimes these get a bit squashed, but yeah, we'll see how we go. So that's cool. Apply. And probably do the same thing to pages in a second. So I'm going to check out these. I don't think they've got anything on them. Yeah, it's example. Example and example. Sweet, so we can delete these. Bulk actions. Oops. Move to trash, that's what I was looking for. And SEOPress detects that there's redirections and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the site hasn't been indexed. I'm just going to double check that now. Actually, I think the homepage has, but I don't think these pages would have. Okay, there's an example post. All right. I might explain that a bit later because we're currently just in a bit of a setup mode. Usually you would either 14 it or redirect it to the homepage. I'll do it now. So we can go create a redirection and redirect that old post, or if someone finds it or whatever in Google, you can go redirect it. So if someone goes to that, it doesn't go to like a blank page. So like if I go here now, it would say 404 error, not found. But if you use SEOPress, you can then go and redirect it to somewhere like the homepage, or probably what might be good is just to 14 it so it's removed from Google when they come across it, and then eventually probably just redirect that URL if needed. That should be sweet. And another one, yeah, 1 and 3, just in case. Okay, cool, so that's done. I don't know about 1, that might come up soon, but I'll do that later. Pages, we're probably going to keep all of these. I'll just check the URLs. So in the bottom left, you'll see it says homepage.co.nz/about/blog/contact. And then that's our homepage. Sweet. So that's good. There's no weird URLs or anything. Next step, we'll go to settings and just start setting up some of this stuff. One thing you'll probably want to check if you are in a new site is like a brand new WordPress installation. Usually the default is to have these set to no index. I believe I can't remember, I always forget which tab it's in. But if you go, it's one of these, I can't remember which one, but for whatever reason, because the .com and the .org are combined, it's not in the same place it usually is, but there's like a discourage search engines from indexing the site or whatever, and there's a checkbox that's on. So if you want to be found in Google, you have to turn that checkbox off. I'll find an example later, but actually, there's probably one for you. Just go WordPress Discourage. and we'll see if there's an image of it, so you can see what I mean. This is it. It's exactly it. So it's under Settings, General, Reading, and right down the bottom, if you click on that, scroll down, you'll see this. And if you want to be found in Google, like your site's ready, then you uncheck this box and hit save. If that's checked, Google will just not index your site because you're telling it not to look at it. And that's usually a default setting in WordPress. Okay, so we'll go through some settings, general. Right, we're just going to change this to lower, like not all caps, value, vehicles, Taranaki. And then we can put like a tagline if you want. We'll probably add that a bit later. Quality. Nah, I'll let them come up with one. So then next thing you can leave these as is. Set your email. Ideally you should have a domain email, but Gmail is okay. English, you set this to your country. So they have multiple types of English. So if you're in AU, NZ, I usually set this to the correct language because in the source code, it sets it to EN/US or EN/NZ and stuff like that. And it tells, it's just another signal to help you locate, like set the language settings and location and stuff. Time and date doesn't matter to me. And it's set to Auckland. That is cool. And then writing, I think that was all good. Not got too much longer to go in this video. I won't go on too much longer. Looks okay. Reading, so if you had a page, you can set the, like if you had no pages, you want to set one specific page to be the home page, you have to go and create a page first and then assign it to your home. If you got a blog, probably set the blog to the blog post, to the post page, and probably summary for the feed. And change this if you wanted to, save that. Discussion, I think that was fine. The only other thing I wanted to check was permalinks actually. So when you create a blog post, what it's going to do is set the URL structure like this as a default. So the date and then that, which is not really ideal. Usually I leave it as post name, just so that there's no issues with like what happens if I want to update the content. And then now it's stuck with that URL as being the date. One rule with SEO is set your URLs correct from the start. Do not go ahead and change them, because then, unless you really have to, because then you're just wiping all of the power from that page and you're starting it from fresh again. So if you had some good rankings and then you go ahead and update your URLs, you're most likely going to lose your rankings, and it takes a while to recover. So set these right from the start. Make sure you know what your URLs are going to be. Cool. And then it even has a warning here. So yep, that's good. So we set it with not really started, so that's fine. And then that's pretty much the basics of a setup. Standard WordPress setup. There's nothing really too crazy about it. The only other thing I would do is just go ahead and start setting up SEOPress, which I might just do in another video, just so it's like a separate thing. Yeah, cool. So the next one, I think we're going to do a bit of the market research and start setting up some of the data tracking and stuff like that too. So I'll show you some tools around how to do some keyword research and find out some opportunities in your industry. And we'll just, yeah, in general, do a bit of that kind of research to start off with in the next video. Sweet. So hopefully this wasn't too long for you, but over the shoulder, what can I do? You can skip through if you want.